Hey, it's your boy, Mike the Situation, Sorrentino. Welcome to Statute of Limitations. It's the ultimate lineup. It's crooks.
This is not my fault that I stole this car.
It's con men.
This is my chance. I can be rich for life.
It's wannabe kingpins.
We all made together $500,000.
And queen pins.
It was basically a lounge of criminals.
These are stories of the nonviolent lucky punks and Robin Hoods that dodge the law.
I could have gone to prison, not jail, prison.
Because here's the situation, baby. It's only a matter of time before the statute of limitations is up. And technically, you might walk away scot-free. But don't take it from me, guys. I'm obviously no lawyer. This is Statute of Limitations. What's up? I'm Mike the Situation, Sorrentino, and we have a situation. Welcome to a show where we find folks who once upon a time committed a crime. Coming up on this episode, a guy in Las Vegas who found a way to beat the house every time. That never happened. And a crazy man gets pulled over with enough weed stashed in his dash to feed an army of Willie Nelsons. Now we go to Vegas, where a clean-cut kid suddenly finds himself with an ace up his sleeve. Or so he thought. Here's what happened when he decided to cheat the odds and the law. Meet Shawn.
My name is Shawn, and over 10 years ago, I cheated a Vegas casino out of some money. The statute of limitations is up, and now I'm ready to tell my story. I live in Las Vegas, and what people don't know is that the people that live there don't actually gamble that much. Growing up, I've always been kind of a square. My family was in the hospitality business, and I was more into the technical things like engineering, and that's what I was interested in. I wasn't the fun guy at the party, and I never really broke any laws. My buddy Bill, he got me a gag gift, and what he had done is he'd found a weighted roulette ball in a pawn shop, and he thought it might be funny due to the fact that I don't gamble. You know, my engineering side started kind of thinking about with the weights and how it could be controlled. When I started studying up on it a bit, doing some reading, I thought maybe that might be something that would be cool and maybe I can use it. I decided to go into a casino and kind of look around and see how things work. I started going in there, not really betting much, but mostly watching and seeing, you know, how the dealer interacts, how things kind of work, and trying to figure out, you know, the best approach. It's not something that I normally would do. It became intriguing to me, and I thought that it might be interesting to try to pull this thing off. I understood that, you know, if I'm going to try to do this, it's not going to be in a casino that has a lot of security, but maybe one that's maybe off the strip. I started casing it out more and more, reading more and more, because I got to figure out how I'm going to be able to switch a ball, potentially. I thought to myself, the best way I would be able to switch the ball if the dealer was distracted. So I went and I got Bill. He's a little crazier. I had to do a little bit of convincing. I mean, it is kind of, you know, cheating. It's stealing money from a casino. I kind of told him what I've been doing. You know, he decided, okay, let's try it out. So he comes in and we start looking at the casinos more and more. The plan was he was going to be this rowdy gambler placing these wild bets on the other side of the table. And, you know, just try to make as much commotion as he possibly can. And at which point, you know, I would just go in there and change it out. We started doing that. We started going to tables. We're spending some hours there, placing little bets. The dealer was never really distracted as much as we needed him to be. Or we'd have some other gambler come up and he would come behind me, or a waitress would come by and ask us for a drink if we needed a drink. Either way, there was just never the opportunity to be able to do the switch. And, you know, I was really scared to begin with. It's like, it was very nerve-wracking. I didn't want to get caught. Again, I'm a very straight guy. We kept doing this for a while, you know, over the next few weeks. And Bill, he started getting pretty frustrated with it. I mean, we were there just losing money, essentially. And there came to a point where he just, you know, he's got up. You know, he got up. He's like, I'm done with this. This is just, it's not going to happen. And we're just risking too much. You know, I don't want to get caught with it, this and that. So he leaves. And I said, you know what, I'll stay at the table and I'll just, I just gamble a little more. I don't know, just see if maybe someone else comes up and maybe they'll distract them. And I don't know. And I was sitting at the table. On one of the spins, the ball flew off the table. It hit the ground, and I thought to myself, wow, this is my opportunity. So, I mean, I've been there. I've seen the way the process works and all that. I knew that I was prepared. So I literally just went to the floor, replaced it with my ball. That was it. I was scared to death about it. And they start spinning the ball, and they're using my ball now, which is, I mean, it's a win. I mean, I'm super shocked. I'm excited, scared, a lot of things all at once, right? So they start spinning the ball. And from, the way that I had calculated that I'm going to be able to better my odds was based on this weighted ball. So what happens is wherever the dealer starts at, when they spin that ball, on the number that they spin that ball, it's going to go around 4 times. And I know, based on my calculations and the weight of the ball, that it's going to land within, let's say, 4 or 5 inches of a number group. So all I need to do is see where he starts it, right? And then I know where to calculate these 4 or 5 numbers. And then while it's spinning is when I place the bet. So I tried that a couple times, and it was working. It wasn't perfect because there's a 4 or 5 inch. I mean, that's what, 3 or 4 numbers. So I was winning and winning and winning. And I went and found Bill, and I told him, I go, look, I was able to switch it. He didn't really even ask any questions. Like, he was like, how did you do it? It's like, don't worry about it. Let's get back to the table. Can we get back to the table? We start placing bets. He knows the deal of, the 4 inch, 5 inch space that it needs to fall in. And he knew the numbers that he needs to start betting on. And we start just placing chips. Chips stacks just keep getting higher and higher. There was just a lot going on and a lot of winning. Obviously, we're getting a lot of attention from others in the casino. Pit bosses start looking around. So they came in and decided to pull the dealer, this whole thing, switch out the dealer. Maybe it's a luck thing. They switch him out, bring another person in, a young lady, and she starts doing it, and we're winning more and more and more. We got up about $60,000 total, and this is a small casino, so these are huge numbers. There was a point that they actually had to switch out the chips, but they ran out of chips. They had to bring more. There's people around us. They're placing bets over the top of ours. I mean, it was chaos. And these stacks are just getting bigger, and they're getting bigger, and we're getting fired up. And the more you win, the more you want. And like, everyone's around me, and everyone's cheering. Like, it just fires you up, And we're thinking to ourselves, I mean, how far can we take this? How far can we take this? Because I'm thinking, I'm loving this winning feeling, because I generally don't win. I don't gamble. The pressure grew because of all this money, or all these chips that I have in front of me. And at that point, it started kind of hitting me where I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on now, and I am breaking the law. Next thing you know, I get a tap on the shoulder. I heard like this low voice say,
Excuse me, sir.
and I'm thinking, what's going on? There's all these people around. I don't know who it might be, right? So I turn around. It's a f***ing pit boss. This is it. Right now. I'm on the radar. I'm busted. I'm caught. It's over.
What are the odds Shawn gets busted? Probably very high, guys. The house always wins. If this is going to get me in jail, guess what the situation is going to do? Out of here. The streets is watching. We're back with more Statute of Limitations. Our boy Shawn is playing with house money and an illegal ball at a Vegas roulette wheel. He's been winning chips hands over fist. That is until the pit boss starts getting super suspicious. Then, you guessed it, things get dicey. Just watch.
So I turn around. It's a pit boss. And he's like, hey, can I help you out? And can I get you something? Do you want to take a break? I'm thinking, oh, clearly I was a VIP, but for all the wrong reasons. The guy's just trying to ask me to step away from the table so he could ask me more questions. I'm thinking, I'm So with that, I said, no, thank you. I said, I'm fine for now. I'm just going to play a couple more hands, and I think I'll be leaving. He accepted it, maybe. I don't know. He did walk away, though. I was able to do a couple more bets, which I did. I did on purpose do a couple losing bets just so my winning streak would kind of subside, because it's been going for so long, and I'm clearly on the radar. So placed a couple more bets, lost, and decided it's time to walk to the cashier. I leave the table first. I'm not going to leave with Bill. We're not supposed to be together. That walk was so long. You know, I take these chips and I'm just walking to the cashier, and I'm thinking to myself at any moment, like, I'm going to get a tap on the shoulder. Like, hey, sir, can you stop for a minute? That's just going through my head. It was a long, long walk. I get there. I'm still thinking we're at the cashiers and people are looking at me, and I feel like they're looking at me. You know, there's a lot of pressure. I got a lot of money, and again, I'm breaking the law. So I was able to get my chips cashed, and I was able to just walk out and get to the car. And when I got to the car, it felt great. You know, closed it up, sat there thinking, holy smokes, what have I just done? I got away with this. This is craziness. You know, and now I'm thinking to myself, I left Bill in there, you know, and Bill, he's a little crazier than I am. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't want him to make too big of a scene. I don't want him to make a mistake, because essentially if he gets caught, then eventually, you know, it might lead back to me. Plus he's my friend. I just didn't want to get him in trouble. You know, I sat there and I probably waited there for, I don't know, maybe another 40 minutes or so. And I was getting nervous at that point. And I'm thinking, you know what? He was caught. And I'm thinking maybe I should leave. Maybe I shouldn't stay. I didn't know what to do at that point, you know. And then the next thing I know, there's a knock on the window, and I'm thinking, oh, this is it. And it was Bill. He did place a couple more large bets. He did push the envelope a little more. I think he told me he made like $1,000 bet, made a ton of money on one, and then he realized that it was time to go. So, you know, he took his money and he decided to cash out, luckily. So Bill gets in the car, and I'm thinking, we got to get out of here. So we start driving away. I remembered I had the roulette ball in my pocket, and I said, you know what, just this. I rolled down the window and I just chucked it. I just wanted no more part of it. I'm sure everyone there scratching their heads at how we did it, but we did it and it got done. And you know, that was pretty much the end of the story. It's not something that I would do again, but when it was happening, it was awesome.
Obviously, Shawn hasn't seen Casino because he would know not to cheat the house, but he waited out the statute of limitations. Shawn may have that little white ball, but he also has big brass ones for cheating the house. Now it's time for a pretty heavy story from a guy in a ton of trouble. Well, maybe not a ton, more like 20 pounds, because that's how much weed he has stashed in his dash driving through Arizona. Plus, he also had a gun. That's enough to earn him anywhere from 10 years to life in prison. Let's meet Joseph.
What's up, man? My name's Joe. I committed a crime in Arizona, but I beat the statute of limitations, and now I can tell you this story. So I'm starting from the top. Me and my boys, we used to run weed from California to Arizona. We run about 10, 20 pounds every other week. We make about 10 racks, 10 grand. Running drugs is simple. You just gotta have a good car, you gotta have a stash spot, you gotta look good, and that's it. This time, it didn't work out as planned. All right, so I'm doing my mental checklist. I'm running this batch. We gotta get the vehicle ready, we gotta get the weed ready. And we ain't taking no bull, we're taking fire, we're taking that Cali Kush. We gotta pack it tight. So we're pinning it in. You gotta saran wrap this like 10 times. Saran wrap it tight. You gotta lay on it, you gotta put your shoulder on it, you gotta get small bricks. It's real cushiony, but you gotta get it real small. And then when you get it real small, you can fit about 10 across the dashboard, 20 pounds. But I gotta lay air freshener all across the top and all across the bottom. And then you throw a little bit of chili powder on the floors and stuff, so when the dogs come to smell, they sniff the chili powder and they go crazy. So boom, we locked everything in tight, got the stash spot, make sure it works, but the stash spot, they only opened up if you turn the ignition and hit the roll down button. And then boom, the dashboard pops out. License plates are good, tags are good, we're ready to roll. There's a strap in the back seat, but I got it tucked. It was perfect. I'm taking off, I'm getting close to the destination spot, and I get lit up. The cop pulls me over. I ain't sweating it, dude. The car's legit. I'm legit. Spike hair, green eyes, white boy. They ain't telling me shit. So boom, he pulls me over, and I'm like, what's up, officer? Is there a problem? I said, yeah, there's a problem. You need to get out the car, sir. So boom, he pulls me out the car. And I'm tripping, dude. I got a gun in the car. I got weed. I got about 10, 20 pounds in the dashboard. I don't know what's gonna happen. And he pulls all this in my pockets. He's holding me in the back of the vehicle. I already know when he puts you in the car and he pull everything out of your pockets, there's something going on. He's like, yeah, there's a warrant for your arrest. There's an arrest for who? There's a for Mario Gonzalez. I was like, do I look like a Mario Gonzalez to you? And he's like, no, sir, but the car's under Mario Gonzalez. I said, well, I'm not Mario. It's my friend named Mario, and I'm just using his car. You can just tell, like, you know, I could tell he could smell something, but I don't know if he smells it or not. So then he calls for backup. And then all of a sudden, I see another officer roll up. He looks at me, then he looks at the car, and they go in. They just start searching the out of it. I already know it's bad. They're looking for Mario. I'm not Mario. There's a gun in the car. There's a bunch of weed in the car. Dude, I'm in the back seat. I don't know what's going on. Shit's getting weird. Cops are showing up. Should I take a run for it? Should I just go? The car's not in my name. How about I just hit the cop door and just take a run for it? Could I beat him? Like, I know they're not gonna find the weed because I got it in a stash spot. There's a button under the steering wheel. It's super clean. They didn't find that shit. But the gun was under the seat in the middle. So I see him and they're searching the vehicle. I'm like, oh, shit. Literally, the gun was right here in the middle, and they got a cop, and their knees were right here, and they're like looking through the back behind like the seats, and all they had to do was move their knee over about a half a foot while they're tearing through them, trying to throw them off. I'm like, don't forget the glove compartment. Don't forget the glove compartment. I'm like, oh, the key for the glove compartment's on the keys. So I'm like trying to throw them off, get them away from the gun because their knees getting close. I'm like, oh, it's over with. I'm going to jail. They're gonna find the gun. They're gonna find the weed, and they keep searching. They're searching. All of a sudden, I see him pull out a bag, and it says gun bag. They found the gun. It's over with. Going upstate.
Maron, Joseph is definitely in the hot seat. But when the heat is on, he keeps his cool, and that's what you're supposed to do. We will see how Joseph gets out of this situation next. Welcome back to Statute of Limitations. Our boy Joseph is all gas and no brakes. He's in the back of a cop car right now, praying the cops don't find the 20 pounds of weed and the gun he has stashed. If they do, he could be looking at a lifetime in prison. Ooh, dang. This is gonna be good.
But the gun was under the seat in the middle. So I see him, and they're searching the vehicle. I'm like, oh, literally, the gun was right here in the middle, and they got a cop, and their knees were right here, and they're like looking through the back behind like the seats, and all they had to do was move their knee over about a half a foot while they're tearing through them, trying to throw them off. I'm like, don't forget the glove compartment. Don't forget the glove compartment. I'm like, oh, the key for the glove compartment's on the keys. So I'm like trying to throw them off, get them away from the gun because their knees getting close. Like, it's over with. I'm going to jail. They're gonna find the gun. They're gonna find the weed, and they keep searching. They're searching. All of a sudden, I see him pull out a bag, and it says gun bag. They found the gun. It's over with. Going upstate. And I see him. He took the gun bag, and he put the property that he took out of my pockets inside the gun bag. I was like, oh, it wasn't a gun. He just didn't have no other bags, and he used the gun bag to put my property in. They come back in the vehicle. They're like, the car ain't your name, so we're going to impound it, but you're going to have to go out to the station. You're going to have to pay a fee. You just got to go get your car out of the impound, and you're free to go. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I know they're going to hit the car again with the dogs and super search it and start ripping the seats up, tearing apart. The tow truck driver comes. I see him pitting the car up. You know, he got to give me the eye. And I know when he pits the car up, because he's moving over the doors, they put it on a flatbed, he's pulling it. And I see him looking up the side. He sees that button. And he kind of looked at me, and then he looked back, and I'm like, oh, man, is he going to say something to the police? Like he's going to tell or keep the weed for himself? The fool was tatted. He had tats on his neck. I could tell he's with the business. So then I was like, So boom, he took the car. Didn't say nothing. Boom, we go back to the station. Saw him there stressed out, doing push-ups. I'm drinking water. I'm like, it's over with. Should I call my mom? What should I do? Who should I call? I don't know what's going to happen. And the next thing you know, after an hour later, I've been stressing. I'm like, trying to get a phone call. They come out, they say, you're free to go. You just got to go get your car at the tow yard, and that's it. So boom, I go to the tow yard. I get over there, I get my keys. Boom, as soon as I check the spot, the weed's gone. I make the call to Mario. I'm like, bro, I got hit. Your car had a warrant on it for my arrest. What do you want me to do? Dude, they took the weed. I still got my gun. What you want me to do? Oh, you owe me 10 grand. You owe me 10 grand. I was like, I got 10 grand. What do you want me to do with the 10 grand? I'm on my way back. I don't know what's gonna happen. I still got my gun, so whatever he says, something might happen out in his direction. So boom, we're going. I pull over. I'm like, dude, I got anything to drink. This day has been crazy. So boom, I go into the bar, have a drink. Dude, I'm missing a bunch of cash. I still got the gun. I got the car. Tow truck driver got all the weed. What the hell am I gonna do? And then guess what happens? I look over, and who's playing pool? The tow truck driver. All I gotta say is, man, I had a crazy life. I was running weed back and forth from California to Arizona. I don't recommend it to no one. And, I changed my life, and you're probably gonna hear more stories from me. You gotta love the Statute of Limitations. God bless America.
Wait, did the tow guy get smoked? I have more questions than I have answers right now. And I'm sure you do too. Wow, that's what's up. I guess he could have spent a lifetime behind bars. Instead, he pulled off the Hail Mary inside the bar. I got a feeling this isn't the last we've heard from Joseph. And if you thought that was intense, check out more stories of cheats, crooks, cons, and some everyday folks that got away. I'm Mike the Situation Sorrentino. See you next time on Statute of Limitations. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and it is not legal advice. The statute of limitations are complicated and depend on many factors. If you need advice, you should seek legal counsel from a competent attorney in your jurisdiction.